Good evening. This is Spirit Journey. Today is Sunday, July 23rd, 2017, and it's about 10:30 p.m. I want to discuss an event that happened to me about 2 days ago. I was at a park and I was sitting with a family member at a cafe type table with chairs, and an elderly woman, white woman, had approached us, and she's all smiley face, and she asked if it'll be all right to take the extra chair. So I said, "Oh, sure, you can take the chair, no problem." And then I went to continue talking to my family member, but she wants to continue talking. And I really didn't want to engage in conversation with her, but I was being polite, and but I just felt a little uncomfortable. Well, actually, a lot uncomfortable. I just felt her presence was coming on too strong upon us, that she was exerting her say over us. And I really didn't want to engage in her. She just seemed like the Miss Daisy type, the type that wants to feel like she loves everybody, just kind of gregarious. And but I felt she was fake. She's just too smiley, too cheesy with me. And she continues talking, and then she says, and just leaning over, and says very loudly, "Are you a native?" Then I looked at my family member in disbelief, and that person responded, and then I responded, "Well, yes, we are from New York." And she's chatting some more, and then she finally leaves. Now, I want to discuss why I was offended by her statement. Yes, I've said that I'm indigenous to the planet, but when a white person comes up to you and doesn't really say anything about themselves, and they just say, "Are you a native?" What that is saying is you live there, and you might be born there, but you don't control it. You're dust. Just like dust is everywhere, but you don't control it. Control where you live. I've never heard any people of color who go to Europe and ask, "Are you a native?" Nor have I ever heard a white person in Europe saying, "Are you a native?" They'll use the name of the nation, or maybe a local guy or girl, but never native. That's why we're native to the planet. We're indigenous to the planet. And real power isn't about being native, because native is just that you occupy that space, but you don't control it. See, you show control over a place when you're able to say and be recognized as being the American, the Chilean, the German, the Nigerian, the Chinese, etc. You know what I'm getting at. When someone says that's what you are, that's saying, yes, I'm part of a social system, I'm part of a government, I'm part of a hierarchy, a structured society. But native doesn't indicate that. Native is just dust, and I am not dust. But what I can say is that nothing lasts forever, and that you have people who may feel that they control a domain, but people are waking up, and they're going to see people like her, and they're going to be removed. Because there's a time and season for everything, and people like her are not going to have their domain long, because it's going to be taken over. It may not be taken over by people like that look like me. It's going to be taken over by people who they think are their friend. And I've done a video this year about it. And I'm not going to even give the name of that group. But I see more and more in New York City that this group is gaining influence, money, and domain. But they're very quiet. And I believe in the very near future, it's going to be taken over by this group, and people like that lady are not going to have a pot to poo-poo in. And it's happening now in Canada. Wow. Yeah, you could watch one of my older videos. Well, it was a video that I did earlier this year that discusses this, what happened with Canada. What is happening with Canada, I should say. And I see the same thing happening here. So that woman shouldn't be asking if I'm native. She should be more concerned with keeping her domain, because it's going to be taken away from her. But I do love my country here in America, and this is my land too. So that's all that I have to say. And that, we all have to humble ourselves, because we could be riding high today, but tomorrow you can lose everything. So we have to be humble in our interactions with others. So that's all that I'm going to say this evening. Peace and joy to you all. Bye-bye.